In 1975, a young man from a small town in Rajasthan crossed the border into Pakistan. He had a new name, a new identity, a new life. For the next 7 years, he would live as a Pakistani citizen, join the Pakistani army, rise through its ranks, and secretly send India some of its most valuable military intelligence of the Cold War era. His name was Ravinder Kaushik. Pakistan knew him as Nabi Ahmed Shakir. This is his story. Ravinder Kaushik was born in 1952 in Sri Ganganagar, a quiet city near the Rajasthan border. From a young age, he had a gift, not for fighting, not for weapons, but for performance. He was a theater actor, charismatic, fluid, able to become whoever the role demanded. RAW, India's research and analysis wing, had been watching talent like his for years. It was 1973. India and Pakistan had just fought a brutal war 2 years earlier. The 1971 war had resulted in the creation of Bangladesh, and Pakistan was nursing its wounds, rebuilding its army, restructuring its intelligence, and hiding its military movements from the world.
RAW needed eyes inside Pakistan, not satellites, not informants, a real human being. Someone who could walk Pakistani streets, speak Urdu without an accent, understand the culture from the inside. They approached Kaushik. He was 21 years old. He said yes. What followed was 2 years of the most intense preparation any spy had ever undergone. RAW put Kaushik through a complete identity rebuild. He studied Urdu, not just the language, but the accent, the dialect, the slang of Pakistani Punjab. He learned Islamic prayers, customs, and rituals until they were second nature. He memorized Pakistani geography, history, culture, every detail that could expose him if he got it wrong. He was given a complete backstory, a family history, a home city, a past that didn't exist. His new name, Nabi Ahmed Shakir. By 1975, RAW believed he was ready. At age 23, Ravinder Kaushik crossed the border into Pakistan and disappeared. He would not return for over a decade. Kaushik settled in Karachi, Pakistan's largest city, where a new face was less suspicious than in a small town. He built his cover carefully. He found work, made friends, learned the rhythms of Pakistani daily life. He spoke Urdu so perfectly that no one ever questioned him. Then came the move that would define his entire mission. He joined the Pakistani army. Think about what that means for a moment. An Indian spy, a Hindu man from Rajasthan, passed the Pakistani military's background checks, its vetting process, its physical training, and became a uniformed soldier in the army of India's greatest rival. He rose to the rank of lance naik. From inside the Pakistani military, Kaushik had access to information that no satellite could capture: troop movements, military strategies, internal communications, the real strength and weaknesses of Pakistan's armed forces. Every piece of intelligence was carefully transmitted back to RAW in India. For 7 years, it worked flawlessly. His handlers in India called him the Black Tiger. He was the deepest undercover asset India had ever placed. Here's the part of the story that most people don't know. Kaushik didn't just survive in Pakistan. He built a life there. He married a Pakistani woman. They had a son together. His wife, his neighbors, his colleagues in the army, none of them had any idea who he really was. To them, Nabi Ahmed Shakir was one of them, a Pakistani man, a soldier, a husband, a father. The psychological weight of that double life is almost impossible to imagine. Every conversation was a performance. Every friendship was built on a lie. Every moment of warmth and connection carried the shadow of what would happen if anyone ever found out. Back in India, his real family, his parents, his siblings, knew he was a RAV agent but had no way to contact him. No letters, no phone calls, nothing. For years, they didn't know if he was alive. In 1983, after 7 years of flawless operation, something went wrong. The exact details of how Kaushik was exposed have never been officially confirmed. What is known is this: Pakistani intelligence, the ISI, identified him. He was arrested. The interrogation that followed lasted months. The ISI wanted everything: his handlers, his contacts, his methods of communication, the full extent of what India knew. Kaushik was tried in a Pakistani court and convicted of espionage. The sentence? Death. It was later commuted to life imprisonment. For the next 2 decades, Ravinder Kaushik, the man Pakistan knew as Nabi Ahmed Shakir, sat in a Pakistani prison cell. The Indian government, in keeping with standard intelligence protocol, officially denied any knowledge of him. That is the cold reality of espionage. When an agent is caught, the country that sent them looks away. Officially, he never existed. Ravinder Kaushik died in a Pakistani prison in 2001. He was 58 years old. His family in India spent years trying to get the government to acknowledge his service, to give him the recognition he deserved as one of India's greatest spies. They were met with silence. It was only years after his death that his story slowly began to emerge, through journalists, through his family's persistence, through the cracks in classified files. Ravinder Kaushik gave everything to his country: his youth, his identity, his family, his freedom, his life. India never officially said thank you. The next time you hear the words national security, remember that somewhere behind that phrase are real human beings who paid a price most of us will never understand. This was the Black Tiger. If this story moved you, subscribe to our channel. Every week we bring you the real stories that history forgot, the untold ones, the classified ones, the human ones.